I'll put some Fetty Wap. I'll put some Fetty Wap on my phone. How about that?
Whenever you're ready.
Go.
All right, ready?
All right, here we go. I'll tell you. I'll open with some music here. Okay, hold on. Some Fetty. Boom.
I'm gonna use this for the opener. This banter, just so you know.
What banter?
Exactly. Well, we lost Joey. Shit.
Joey.
Well, this will be fun to cut out of the video.
I know. You want to just restart?
I think we'd have to do a whole new broadcast. It's the only flaw.
Oh.
We can't. I don't think we can stop and restart the broadcast since I'm recording all through Google Hangout.
Oh shit.
Because now I have my laptop back finally. It just took a minute.
What happened?
My motherboard died.
Jesus.
So that was about $350 I didn't want to spend.
I feel you, dude.
But
my hard drive and RAM, I had to do all this.
Okay, so what happened was I played the music and then it made me leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
There.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Okay.
We are live.
All right, I'm actually going to start
guys?
now, and I'll just cut that out.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Well, what have we here? After a little hiatus because of some technical difficulties, here we are back on the Schmotable. I'm Shake and Bake here with Divock and Rainman, and guys, a couple things happened while our technology was down in the world of sports, wouldn't you say?
No, our technology wasn't down. We just had a bye week. Shake and Bake. Couple bye weeks. 2 of them.
Whatever you want to call it, Divock. That is all for you. But guys, let's dive right in. Baseball is happening. Two championship series in the NL and one in the AL, of course. And let's start in the AL because this series blows. The Cleveland Indians are shocking the world, and by shocking the world, I mean nothing about the fact that the Indians are bad. I mean the fact that Cleveland has a shot to get back to its second straight title in the same season. The Indians are a game away from from representing the AL in the World Series with taking a 3-0 lead tonight against the Blue Jays. Divock, how is Cleveland doing this?
We've got a lot of magic working right now. And I would say honestly, it's the spirit of Juan Uribe. God bless that man. So every time he signs anywhere, the team goes to the World Series. And you know what? Even though he was cut, like at the trade deadline, the spirit's still there. What do you think about that, Baker?
I mean, I can't say you're wrong, but I feel like Napoli, a fellow aged veteran with winning experience, could maybe have a part in this too, possibly.
Napoli, he was one of my key indicators for my extremely drunk bet I made in February.
Yeah, can we revisit this bet?
We can.
Yeah, it was a great bet.
So I was blackout, hammered.
Your mother
drunk.
is excited.
She does not listen to this. So it's probably the only way you can bet on Cleveland sports is to be blackout drunk, right?
Yeah.
I bet Cleveland Indians to win the AL at like 7.5 to 1 odds in February, which really aren't that great of odds in February, thinking about it now. But I did, and my one, besides Uribe, obviously, my main things were Napoli, great signing in the offseason. Everywhere he goes, they seem to win, and the Red Sox and the Angels. You have Rajai Davis, who I liked a lot, is a great signing. A great rotation. Obviously fell apart a little bit with the Carrasco and Salazar injuries. Not really, and Trevor Bauer doing whatever he did to his pinky, flying a drone. But yeah, that's
No, he's right.
Yeah,
Right?
and Terry Francona, of course. Probably the best manager in the AL. Not probably.
Did
He
he?
is.
He flipped off a camera, right? That was a TBS camera that was zoomed in on him in the dugout.
Oh yeah, well he can do whatever the fuck he wants because he's Terry
I know
Francona.
he is Terry Francona.
I mean, for me at least, that's the linchpin of this whole thing that people forget. That Terry Francona is the manager of the Indians. I think that he, obviously all the success in the world with the Boston Red Sox, finally came up a little short, took a season off, comes back to Cleveland, and has been rebuilding this team for a few years. And I just think people forget that he's there and how good a freaking manager he is just because the Red Sox gave him a raw deal because, the Red Sox are the Red Sox, and it's Boston sports. You have a short leash if your name isn't Bill Belichick.
I think it's him and Dusty Baker who are those guys that when they go to a new franchise they really elevate it. And I think Terry Francona is a great manager.
The difference is Dusty Baker sucks ass, and Terry Francona is good at managing a baseball.
I mean, okay.
Raymond, did you just use Dusty Baker and Terry Francona in the same sentence?
Dusty Baker elevates franchises. He doesn't.
No. Dusty Baker elevates pitch counts. That's what he does.
Yes.
That's all.
Rayman, as someone who has suffered through a personal Dusty Baker experience, I can tell you that he.
Are you a Reds fan?
Yes, diehard Reds fan. Sad, diehard, sad little Reds fan. Sad.
See, I was a Yankee fan. I am a Yankee fan, but I just don't follow.
Shake and bake. Can we kick Raymond?
The point about Dusty Baker, I'm going to quickly make, and then we're going to get back to baseball. That's actually happening. Is Dusty Baker?
Let's get back to
Dusty Baker is good at taking a downtrodden franchise or a talented but poorly managed franchise beforehand and elevating it to playoff status.
That's what I'm saying. He's not he doesn't.
But he is not good enough to do anything important in the playoffs.
Every World Series, he doesn't win World Series, but
he got the Reds back to playoff contention. Then they fired him and made a dumber move by hiring Brian Dickhead Price. And then Dusty Baker is now, as you see with the Nationals, got the Nationals back in the playoff contention because the players actually like to play for him. But as we then once again saw, he found a way to blow it. So,
yes.
In that saying, no on Dusty Baker, yes on Terry Francona. Now over to the NLCS.
Oh, yeah.
Steve have a very similar opinion on what's happened here. So the Cubs won Game 1 after the Dodgers came all the way back to tie it late. And then Clayton Kershaw got the monkey off his back once again, or whatever was left of the monkey off his back, and pitched an absolute gem last night and helped the Dodgers tie the series 1-1. But Divac, you and I both have the suspecting feeling that the Dodgers F their way out of a 2-0 series lead, because I legitimately think that they should have a 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, well, shake and bake. We are both now. We're both in Chicago, and we are both Cubs hate. You're a Cubs hater. Are you a Cubs hater?
Yeah.
We are both Cubs haters. We are both. And of course, I'm a White Sox fan, diehard. We are both Cubs haters, living within 5 miles of Wrigley Field, and I think we can both honestly say we'd rather be living in sub-Saharan Africa right now.
Antarctica, it's winter.
Antarctica.
I'm actually pulling for the Cubs.
Yeah, well,
Green Man.
Raymond. Oh, jeez. Okay. So back to Dave Roberts. You walk Barry Bonds. You walk Ted Williams. You walk Babe Ruth. You do not walk Jason Hayward, and you do not walk Chris Coghlan. Because the problem is you put people on base, and then your pitcher needs to throw strikes. He has to. There's no other way to do it.
And the Dodgers have had a pooey bullpen.
It's not great
bullpen in pressure situations.
It's Joe Blanton.
Yeah,
like it's not. You're not throwing Andrew Miller, Cody Allen out there. I mean,
my biggest issue is not only that. Obviously, the walking of Hayward, literally just because he got a triple earlier in the game. Jason Hayward gets ropes a ball into right field. He can probably get a triple. He's an athletic guy. He's just had a shitty year at the plate. But the Coghlan walk, and then loading the bases for, even though it was a pinch hitter and you can't call it a pinch hitter, knowing that Miggy Montero, who while he's not the hitter he used to be back in his Diamondback days, is a veteran power hitter at his best.
Absolutely.
And there was one out. Were there even 2 outs?
There was 2 outs.
There were 2 outs. Okay, so still in a pressure situation at home in a home run friendly ballpark, you load the bases against a veteran power hitter. That's just stupid. Like I'm sick and tired, especially in the playoffs, because I think there's a certain now. Granted, Dave Roberts is not a super experienced playoff manager, but I'm just so sick of seeing Bochy did it against the Cubs too, of just coaches, managers over managing their teams to try and play a matchup. And I think that there's a certain point that when you're this deep in the postseason, roll with your guys instead of trying to roll with a matchup or a force-out situation. Like, these guys have gotten you there, and just keeping rotating pitchers in and out, in and out, in and out. When has that ever really worked in the postseason, or at least consistently?
Well, the ironic thing about Roberts is that they had lefty Warm in the bullpen and he didn't go to him.
Yeah.
And not that I'm saying he should have. I mean, the thing he should have done is he should have just pitched to Coghlan. He should have just pitched to Hayward.
Yeah.
And you don't put the guys on base, because once you have to throw strikes and the hitter knows it, it's a different ballgame.
Absolutely.
It's a different ballgame. And Chris Coghlan's not a good enough hitter you can go after Chris Coghlan when you have a base open. You can throw it out of the zone, make him chase. I don't know. It's Chris fucking Coghlan.
Anyway, so because of these managerial issues, we're going into a tied series 1-1 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Arrieta and Rich Hill, coming off his own short rest, are on the mound against each other.
Rich Hill and his blisters.
In the Dodger Stadium. Who's going to come out of this one? Who's going to take a 2-1 series lead, guys? Just on a quick prediction. I don't need a diatribe.
Rayman, you can give a little prediction right here. A little diatribe.
Yeah, you can absolutely give the diatribe. I think that Jake Arrieta, will lead the Cubs to a win. But Joey, go on your diatribe.
Okay, so Rich Hill. I have a diehard friend who's a diehard Cubs fan. I have a lot of friends who are diehard Cubs fans. One of these, he vividly recalls a playoff game, the last one he was at, were 9 years ago, where Rich Hill started a game for the Cubs. And I predicted, this is another one, I predicted that Rich Hill would come back and haunt the Cubs after he signed with the Dodgers, or was traded to the Dodgers. And that's what I'm sticking by.
Here we are. And here we
are. Rich Hill.
I will say I think Rich Hill will come out and pitch very well. I think the Cubs will steal this one if I'm putting my super aggressive bias aside. I do trust Arrieta's overall talent. But then again, Arrieta's been gassed. There aren't, the Cubs in general outside of Jake Arrieta and the other night Miggy Montero haven't been home run heavy in these playoffs. Dodger Stadium is a big ballpark. I can see the Dodgers stealing the first one at home. We'll just have to see what happens. But for now, I'm going to pick the Cubs just because the ace is on the mound.
Cubs struggle against lefties.
That's very
really,
true.
Really struggle.
Yes, they do.
Got shut down by Bumgarner, got shut down by Moore, got shut down by Kershaw. You're going to see Hill again.
I'm excited to watch, and hopefully I'll be around some fans who are suffering. But, guys, let's move on to football. Especially since Rain Man, baseball is not your favorite sport like football is. So biggest news out of the weekend, much to many people's chagrin, and I am not rooting for injuries but smiling in the back half of my face. Ben Roethlisberger went down with a meniscus injury. He has to have surgery. He's out indefinitely. Can your fantasy team survive its season without Ben Roethlisberger?
Yes. Absolutely. The only person I have on my team remotely affected by it is Sammy Coates. But, he was a waiver wire pickup. He was a great one last week. But, he's not someone I was considering starting.
Ray, man, can I stop you? I don't think we were talking about your fantasy team in particular. I think we're talking about fantasy teams in general.
Fair enough.
Think about how many Steelers were probably taking.
No, I mean, Bell.
Early this year.
Brown.
Brown. Wheaton's probably on some teams. Le'Veon Bell, D'Angelo Williams, Ladarius Green.
People picked up Eli Rogers probably.
Tight end.
Jesse James.
And Landry Jones will now be quarterbacking this.
But it's a torn meniscus. It's not even a torn meniscus. They're just clearing up, kind of scar tissue in his meniscus. It's not.
Hopefully
It shouldn't be that long.
You know what's
No,
the worst?
it won't be that long of a recovery. He'll
Hopefully
be back
it's the
probably
massive
like 3 to 4
scar
weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you know what the worst thing about Landry Jones is that I keep calling him Jarvis Landry. I keep on saying Jarvis Landry.
Very different paths in life. Very different skill sets.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Landry Jones. I tweeted out yesterday that with Big Ben's injury, that Landry Jones has become the second worst starting QB in the NFL ahead of Brock Osweiler. And
He might
Landry
be
Jones
more hated too, because I think people will Steelers fans being loud, obnoxious Steelers fans will turn on his interception-heavy ratio.
I think they know what to expect. I mean, he threw like 8 interceptions in a preseason game.
Yeah,
they know.
They did it last year when he had to fill in for Ben and for Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I think,
is Michael Vick still on their team?
No, last year.
No, he hasn't signed yet.
Last year.
Why don't they sign him?
They should.
They should, but will they? Probably not. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean,
Actually,
Big Ben.
they might. They're smart.
I mean, there's no one who takes
pretty
bigger
well
hits
run
than
team,
Big Ben.
some would say. Speaking of shitty quarterbacks, final note, I'm probably benching the one Steeler I have on my team, who is Sammy Coates. F that guy.
I have Coates too, yeah.
But you're starting Antonio, you're starting Le'Veon.
Yeah, no matter what.
Those
guys are incredible.
I would heavy up on Le'Veon D'Angelo now more than ever.
Yeah.
But speaking of shitty quarterbacks, let's move on to Ryan Fitzmagic, who again played like crap tonight on Monday Night Football, and the Jets are now 1-5 after having 10 wins last year. Leading back to my preseason point, the Jets should move on, should have traded for someone else, and not tried to sign Ryan Fitzpatrick back because the dude can't string 2 seasons together to save his life.
He barely stringed one.
Never.
He barely stringed 1 season together.
Yeah. I mean, last year.
No, he cobbles together 1 to get paid, and then he gets paid, and then he doesn't perform.
Matt Flynn, legendary backup quarterback, said it best. You don't get paid twice in this league.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had his chance to get paid in Buffalo, failed. Had another chance in Houston, kind of didn't fail, but still pretty much failed. Had his best season as a pro last year with the Jets, and still technically failed because he blew it in the last game and didn't make the playoffs. And he wanted dough. He wanted big dough.
I call Ryan Fitzpatrick the wandering Amish nomad because he just always seems to be starting the beginning of the season for some team, no matter what. Like, we will be in 2030, and he'll still be a starting quarterback.
He's like Vinny Testaverde.
Dude, Harvard. He just knows how to keep his body well-tuned because he went to Harvard. He's smarter.
Yeah, there you go. But he has like a career record of like 25 games below 500. He's not a good quarterback.
Look,
his stints with the Rams and the Bengals didn't help that either.
It didn't help that, but he didn't help them.
No.
Carson Palmer wasn't that bad with the Bengals.
No, that was just that year Carson hurt his elbow.
Yeah. Also, fuck Harvard. I went to Cornell. They suck.
Well, Ray Man with a little Cornell.
You just aren't allowed to work
casual Cornell,
I suppose.
Now you're doing the podcast, Ray, man.
Yeah.
Way to go with that Cornell education.
But
I know, right?
Guys, and bringing it up because for the rest of the show, Geno Smith is going to be a theme. Is going to Geno Smith an answer for the Jets at this point? Because why the
No.
Is that a trick
If
question?
they didn't believe in him up till now, I mean, honestly, he just has it. He doesn't have any consistency nor the talent to survive in this league, and his disposition is terrible, so that he can't be a leader. It's just not worth it. Just get rid of them. They're both, Fitzpatrick is terrible. Smith is toxic, and you just need to dump them both and start over. I mean, at this point, they might get like Deshaun Watson or something in the draft. They're that terrible.
Who they start over with? Blake or was it Bryce Petty?
Bryce Petty, sure. I mean,
Bryce
Petty's like a stopgap.
Funny.
He's like Curtis Painter until they got luck.
Funny news. Bryce Petty and second-round pick Christian Hackenberg this week were inactive for the Jets. Didn't even play. Couldn't even suit up. They were in street clothes with headphones on.
Hackenberg. How did that guy get a second-round pick? Was he second round? What pick
Second
was he?
I watched him at Penn State. It was a second-round pick. I watched him at Penn State. Honestly, like after Allen Robinson left, most of his weapons and stuff were not there, but he was also not like taking responsibility for making crappy throws or making good decisions. So like,
and he actually,
I don't know how he got a second round pick.
He actually had the worst offensive line in college football history. That is a
Yeah.
recorded stat.
That's very true.
Yeah,
He
really
legitimately the worst offensive line to ever play college football. And that's tough to do. Penn State's a pretty legitimate program, most people consider.
He was the first year the Sandusky allegations came out. He was one of the kids that said, I'm staying.
He was the top-rated quarterback coming out, and Bill O'Brien did a great job with him, and then James Franklin did a shitty job with him.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying, like, it also was like they're finally rebuilding from that scam. They lost so many people, like Silas Red. Like, Jesse James actually was one of the people that stayed at Penn State.
Whatever happened to Silas Red?
He went to USC and sucked.
Right. Was he supposed to be the next big thing?
Yeah, he was. I mean, it's like Kajana Carter.
He was drafted, though.
Curtis
It wasn't like Kajana Carter. Kajana Carter was a first-round pick.
Kajana Carter out of this. He was
Curtis Enos?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
naming
because
people
of Penn
for
State running back bus.
No. But you're naming people who were first-round picks.
Silas
Red
Red
wasn't a pick. He wasn't even drafted.
No, he wasn't. But when he left Penn State, he sucked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but wasn't he supposed to be amazing?
I mean, USC hasn't been good, hence why Clay Helton is their head coach.
Yeah, very true.
Guys, sucking has kind of been the theme for our football talk right now. It's going to keep going because you know how Monday night is football night? Well, Monday night sucks.
Yeah, it does.
The Monday night football games, in my opinion, sometimes scheduled before the season. Sometimes they seem like great matchups. By the time we get to every game, some of them are a lot worse than the Thursday night matchups, and the Thursday night matchups are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
How does this happen? How does one of America's most beloved sporting nights, like Monday Night Football, is an American institution? How has it become so bad?
Well, I think honestly we're oversaturated. It's like football is so. I think there's fatigue.
Wonderful.
I think that it's like Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like you just like I need to have like I used to love it when it was Sunday, Monday, and like
You don't tune in for the Tuesday night Mac game? What's wrong?
Tuesday night. I bet on the Tuesday night Mac game.
When the NBA's on, I'll be watching like all week. But I mean, like it's just so I don't know. And the games are.
Problems here? You can't even get your thoughts out.
I can't get my thoughts out. Anyway, you know what? I just thought it was a terrible matchup, and the penalties were terrible. It was the longest third quarter in like the history of Monday Night Football.
We'll get to the actual game here in a hot sec.
But I'm just saying, like
in general, they aren't good.
In general, yeah,
they're bad. The NFL is doing a lot of. The NFL, the product itself is really, really bad right now. It's the worst I think I can ever remember it, especially with just the celebration penalties, that type of shit. Like,
the two teams that tweeted mock replays because the NFL banned them from. Did you see that? The Eagles made a cutout of a paper person replicating Malcolm Jenkins' touchdown interception for a touchdown because you're not allowed to post replays or make GIFs out of them on social media. And the Browns did it too for a touchdown.
Yeah, I saw that. I agree with that. That's just a stupid fucking rule.
It's stupid.
No one people want to see that stuff during the game. Like that's half the point of social media is to be like, silly touchdown dance, absurd catch. Let me watch that right now since I'm not in the the area to get the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's absurd.
I don't even understand the crackdown on celebrations. Like, why is that bad?
They claim it's like sportsmanship for kids, but like
kids want to be entertained.
They don't give a fuck about
25 and I'm still a child. I want to be entertained, damn it.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck about the kids.
I know it's bullshit, but like
the NFL telling kids to play
that's what they're claiming. I don't believe that for a second.
The NFL also claims that concussions still aren't a thing, even though they actually sponsored.
No, they finally admitted it. Finally, just after.
Oh no, they took it back.
They took it back.
They took it back. These concussions are fake.
They said yes and then no. That's exactly what happened. Guys,
and then they revoked funding.
Before we get to our final segment and wrap things up here for the evening, I just want to give a big old slow clap to good old Geno Smith. What a guy. What a champ. Call Monica Lewinsky and get him a blowjob on me. I just love that man. Comes in late, trying to earn his job back, do what he does best, but he did what he did best, and he threw a pick, and it got me a win in a much-needed fantasy league.
Oh, wow. You got a win off that? You got
a win off the INT. They almost had the sack strip fumble, too. Like, Geno was trying to do everything to get Baker W.
Oh, man.
Damn it, he got shaken Bacon W. It was great.
That's a classic Monday night win. That's such a Monday night.
Loved
where
it.
Geno Smith's coming in.
And it was better because in another league, I extended the lead because of David Johnson. In the league that I got the win off Geno in, David Johnson was killing me. And Geno just came through. Like, what a just stud. What
at least he came through for somebody, finally.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I wish I won like that.
Well,
so let's get to the Mary.
Yeah, let's get into Mary Plow Kill, our general closing segment here on the Schmotable. So, guys, quick, who you marrying?
I'm marrying Zeke. Zeke is just killing it for me. And behind that offensive line, he's just going to be amazing.
I was going to say, are you allowed to marry the offensive line? Can that be? I think that's really the person you want to marry. Like, you're marrying the lesser sister to get to the hotter sister here.
And I mean, honestly, 2/5 of the line has been out for like a chunk of time, and he's still killing it. I hate saying it because I hate the Cowboys, but Zeke's just been doing so well for me, so I have to marry for him.
All right. I am going to marry Odell Beckham because even though I've already married him probably 50 million times, and I have a huge man crush on him, I'm officially
He's in a lovely.
Gonna marry him because he's gonna have a monster finish to the 2016 season.
He's a nice guy. I've met Odell Beckham in person before. He's a nice guy.
You've met Odell in person?
Yeah, a couple SEC media days back in the day.
Oh wow,
nice guy. Really, legitimately nice guy. Just emotional on the field. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ron Artest is like that.
But
Ron Artest fucking beat up someone in the stands. Rain Man, can we please not do that?
Dude, I have met Ron Artest and I've worked at the NBA and no. He is absolutely one of the nicest people off the court, but when he gets on the court, something goes off in his head. It's like a switch. He can't turn it back. That's why. Okay, all right.
I actually believe
he's a friend to Pandas. To be fair,
he is. He's changed his ways since his Motor City beating up people days.
All right. Back to the topic. We all know I'm marrying Geno Smith. Yeah, BJ's on the
Yeah.
A Hundo P marrying Geno Smith, and I'm totally okay with how reversed that sounds. Plow. Rain Man, let's start off with you again. Who are you plowing this week?
So this week I'm plowing. I mean, DeMarco Murray is obviously a great one, but against the Colts defense, he's just gonna kill it this week, or like he should have against the Browns.
All right,
Divac.
I am going to plow. Like literally, I'm just gonna take him in bed and say this is just this one time. That would be Deshaun Jackson, because just like Golden Tate this week, everybody's gonna be benching Deshaun Jackson against the Lions next week. And you know what happens when people do that, right?
Goes off.
Goes off, yeah.
Goes off.
So goes off. I'm saying Deshaun just this one time. So
wow. For me, I'm taking San Diego backup tight end Hunter Henry.
Oh, or just name Henry.
I picked him up.
What a Thursday evening Hunter Henry had for Shake and Bake, and that gets him a spot in my bed for one evening and one evening only.
Oh wow! Is his name Hunter Henry or Henry Hunter?
Hunter Henry.
It's Henry Hunter. Henry Hunter.
No.
Evil twin. That's the guy who drops balls on third down, not the guy who gets touchdowns on second down.
I think he's the best forward backwards name since Austin Miles or Miles Austin. Sorry.
Wow.
That's great.
Proved your point right there.
That's stunning. All right, who are you killing off? Divac, we'll lead off with you since I know you're upset.
I really can I kill fantasy football?
You do have to delete your DraftKings account though. We just went over this. It is a conundrum you're going to have to deal with.
DraftKings will not go anywhere because I'm an addict. and I need DraftKings, and it needs me.
All right. Well,
Okay, but seriously, I will not kill fantasy
everyone.
football.
So, Rain Man, who you take?
I will not kill fantasy football. I'm taking it back. I will kill Brock Osweiler because I fucking hate him.
Fair.
Go.
I'm pulling the plug on Julius Thomas. I'm giving up. Blake Bortles can't do crap, and Julius Thomas hasn't been able to convert any of his looks. It's just awful down there.
Someday they'll get him an offensive line, and he might actually be good again.
Someday, not this year.
Over the rainbow, yeah. I am killing Brian Hoyer for the most positive reason why. So I took a stab at myself, a blood sacrifice this week to the fantasy gods, and started Brian Hoyer over Eli Manning, knowing full well that it would make Eli Manning get in rhythm and go off. While Brian Hoyer did have 300 yards passing, he didn't throw a touchdown, and he had like 11 points, and it was a really crappy day. Eli Manning had like 25 minimum points, depending on your league, and had 400 yards. Odell Beckham went off against the Ravens defense, which is supposed to be good, but it's kind of average. And Eli just found the switch again. So by making Brian Hoyer and 1 week of my fantasy football my sacrificial lamb to the gods of fantasy football, I hereby give you Brian Hoyer's dead, lifeless body, and will put Eli Manning back in my starting lineup.
Okay, well, that's fine, shake and bake, but you're going to also have to kill Jay Cutler because I don't want him anywhere near.
That's fine. I mean, he can be a side piece. He can be like the bone you pick your teeth with after the nice meal, after the nice sacrifice meal.
So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and start like Jimmy Clausen whenever we start.
Cool. Great.
Who's our third stringer?
Notre Dame fans need something to cheer for. Shit. Well, everyone, thanks for listening again to the Schmotable. Listen to us every week for the hot takes we have here on the show.
No more bye weeks.
SoundCloud link.
No more bye weeks.
No more bye
weeks.
More
like a timeout, Joey. Your bye week's too long. We didn't wait a whole week.
Kind of.
Rain Man. You gotta, what
time doesn't matter to Rain Man.
All right. Peace.
Nighty-night, folks.
Night.
Peace.